Yeah, what kind of polygon is 5? How many sides does it have? It's an octagon. So we did also do an octagon yesterday. What were the angles in an octagon? 120. See, we did an octagon right here in our notes. So see how it's 135? This is the example we did yesterday together. So when we half it, it'll be the 67.5. Because remember, the good thing about this unit is, yeah, each shape is different, but when you look at a specific shape, they're always going to be the same angles. You know, like all octagons have these angles. This is 135. So when you draw your radius, this angle right here is the 67.5. I'm going to draw my triangle bigger just to make it easier to work with. So we have 12.1 here, a right angle here, and we just said this was 67.5. So in this case, we have our apothem, but we need this half so we can find our side. So this is our x. Okay. Remember how I told you, unless the problem gives you the radius, you're always going to use tangent. You know, sine and cosine are only going to be used if you have the hypotenuse, which is the radius in these. So we're doing tangent of 67.5, and it equals opposite over adjacent, which is this one. So other than the numbers being different, this setup is the same as the one we just did on our bell ringer for today, because you have to multiply by the bottom number, but that doesn't actually separate x from anything. It does break up your fraction, which you need, but remember, we just divided. So what you're going to put in your calculator is 12.1 divided by tangent of 67.5. Yeah, 12.1 divided by tangent 67.5. 5.01? What's after the 1? Another 1? Okay. So I'm just going to say it's about 5. Because 0.1 is a tiny amount, right? So if this is about 5, how long are the sides? About.
5.
Well, this is 5. So that means this is 5. So how long is the whole side? What's 5 and 5? 10. It's 10. So, yeah. It's not exactly, because I realized that this was not exactly 5, but it's real close. And the thing is, we just keep that part in our calculator. So, like, if you have the 5.011, then you can double that to the 10.022. You know? So then the perimeter would be times 8. So remember, our formula is 1/2 A, which we already knew, and then P. So that's 8 times the 10 point something. So put this in and tell me. You don't even have to round. Just put, you already have the 10, hopefully in your calculator, the 10 point whatever. Because here you had 5.011. So we do times 2. Leave that in your calculator. That'll give us this, times 8, times 12.1, divided by 2. Now tell me what that is. 485? Point, what's after the 1? So about 0.2. Because remember, when you are using one decimal place, you have to look at the second one to see if you round up or not. And it's units squared. Yeah, this is the right answer. Okay, so that was number 5. So what other one do y'all feel like you need? Between 1 and 7.
7.
7? Okay. Now, triangles are typically easier than polygons because you could use the formula 1/2 base times height. But the reason that doesn't work here is I don't have any of the sides, so I don't have a base, and I don't have the height of the triangle. Now, I will give you a piece of advice. It doesn't work on triangles, but if you have an even number of sides, like here we have 3 sides, that's not even. But if you have an even number of sides, the apothem is half of the height. So sometimes that can make your problem easier. Like with a square, if you have the apothem, that's half of the side length. It's not going to be here because this distance is different from this distance. Because that's the radius, so that's like here. It's longer. So we don't have the height, so we have to use our 1/2 AP. Even though triangles have a simpler formula, we don't have the information to use it. So what did we say all the angles were in an equilateral triangle? Hunter, you should be writing this down. We're not sleeping, I told you. If you don't have a pencil, come up here and get one. But you're not sleeping, you're writing this down. Okay, we've been doing triangles since Unit 4, which was back in October. If at this point you don't know how to tell me what the angles of a triangle are, because we've done it so many times, you need to look in your notes. What do triangles add up to, the angles? Come on, y'all. No. Every triangle in the whole world that is a Euclidean triangle, meaning straight sides, adds up to 180. We've done that since Unit 4. We're on now Unit 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on the 5th unit that uses this information. Guys, you've got to know triangles add up to 180. And if all of them are the same, you have to know that they're 60. I don't mean that to be ugly, but guys, you know this. You're just wanting to sit there like bumps on a log, and you can't do that. Math is interactive. It's like if you play basketball, you can't just stand on the court and think you're playing basketball. You got to actually do something, right? It's the same in math. You can't just sit there and think you're going to do math. You have to actively participate. If this is 60, when we cut it in half, what is it? $30. So we have, if this is 90 and this is 30, that must mean this is 60 because as we just reviewed, triangles are always 180. So if you have a 30 and a 90, you have to have a 60 to make 180. I could still do trig here, but I will tell you the 30, 60, 90 triangles were faster. So I'm just going to draw the triangle. Yeah, sorry. So remember, across from your 30 is your x, across from your 60 is your x square root of 3, and across from your 90 is your 2x. The one we had, the x was 4. Well, we don't need this one. It's not part of our problem unless it's the one that they gave us. But if x is 4, then that means x squared root of 3 is 4 square root of 3. That's this piece. That's half of our side. Okay? If 4 square root of 3 is half of our side, then if we double it, that's the whole side, right? What do I get when I double 4? If I double 4, what do I get? 8. Yeah, y'all know this stuff. That's why I'm being frustrated, because if I honestly believed you didn't know any of these things, I would not be as frustrated. I would be more patient. But y'all know this stuff. Y'all know how to double 4. Y'all just want to sit there. And I get it. It's morning and this ain't your favorite, but the thing is you got to participate. So if just half the side was 4, the whole side is 8 square root of 3. And then for the perimeter, that's the same for all 3. What's 8, 8, and 8 make? Yeah, 8 plus 8 plus 8. Because the square root of 3 is still going to be there, but 8, 8, and 8 add up to what?
24.
Yeah. So we have our perimeter. We already had our apothem. So the area is half times A times P. Well, what's half of 4? 2. What's 2 times 24?
48.
So the exact answer is 48 square root of 3, but it does tell you to round that, so put it in your calculator. What's 48 square root of 3? Say again.
83.1.
Okay, what's after the 1? Yep, then 83.1. We won't round up that time because 3 is under 5, right? You only round up when the next digit's 5 or more. So this is your answer.